Hi, everybody. Today we are going to go over the full Rein platform in its entirety, starting from the dashboard screen. So what we're going to cover today is each one of the tabs located on the left-hand side, as well as the interactive tool located on your dashboard. So let's start with the dashboard screen. Here, you're going to see an interactive tool that has various drop-downs associated to it in various timelines. So by default, your dashboard screen will show you the medical professionals that have accepted shifts with your facility. If you wanted to change the timeline and see accepted shifts for today or this week or this month, you can do that on the right-hand side of the interactive tool. Starting with the accepted shifts, you have the ability to filter down by the specific department within your organization. So if your organization has multiple locations and you wanted to see shifts that were associated to a specific location, you can simply select that location and see the various timesheets for that individual facility. If you wanted to see your organization as a whole, you can always just not select a particular department and it will show you the data for every one of your locations. From here, we can see that we have two medical professionals that have accepted shifts for today. All right, if we opened up one of these, we'd be able to see that Zach Test has a shift scheduled at the Cincinnati facility with a start time of 1:30 p.m. If we wanted to drill into the details of this particular timesheet, you can click on the job title and it brings you to the timesheet detail page of this individual medical professional. There's going to be a bunch of different ways that we navigate to the timesheet detail page, and this is where you're going to be doing most of your work, um, you know, communicating with different medical professionals, and handling people's shifts. But we will drill into that a little bit later. The next thing that you can view on this interactive tool is messages. So when a medical professional accepts a shift with your organization, they have the ability to message you. You will get alerts up here in your right-hand corner by the notification icon if somebody wrote into your facility, but you can also keep an eye on the messages section by clicking on the medical professionals messages metric. From here, you can open up the message thread from that particular individual and continue the conversation. So various reasons why people would message in. Some people like to ask if they can get a permanent schedule with your facility, or if something came up and they need a particular shift unassigned from your organization, they would write into you and let you know. So do keep an eye on the messages thread, and the more that you communicate with your medical professionals, the better organized and better feedback you'll get from that in particular person. If you need to write somebody back, all you do is type your message here in the message thread, hit send, and that medical professional will receive a notification on their phone that your organization just wrote them back. Next, you have the ability to review timesheets from this interactive tool. Again, you can filter from today, this week, or this month, but if there is a particular timesheet that needs reviewed, you can expand that timesheet. You can see this person's check-in and check-out time. On completed shifts, you can see their check-in time, their checkout time, break hours if they had any, the medical facility notes if there are any, and you also have the ability to drill into a person's timesheet and edit it if needed. So reasons a medical professional reasons why you might have to edit a person's timesheet is if they forgot to clock in or forgot to clock out, if they did not add their break minutes, or things like that. There's various reasons why you might have to edit a timesheet. So for example, this professional said that they forgot to check in at 7:30. Please correct their timesheet. So the way you do that here is just simply click on the check-in time. You can change the check-in hours and minutes. If you needed to add break minutes, you have the ability to do that. And then we encourage the medical facility to put notes in your section. So for example, what your hierarchy or the people who are going to be processing payments with your organization want to see is who is approving the timesheet and whether it is approved for payment or not. So for example, we can put in timesheet approved. You can put in your name. Something is just simple to the point that lets the approving authority know who approved the timesheet, that it is approved and it's ready for payment. You can come up with your own verbiage for your organization, but as long as it's kind of clear and concise what the message is, um, the better it is for everybody. From here, you do also have the ability to drill right into the message thread. You have the ability to drill right into the timesheet details page again. So multiple ways that you can get to these individual spots. Next is pending payments. So here you have the ability to see what departments from your organization have pending payments. So you can see here that the Cincinnati facility has one shift from 7 days ago that still needs payments processed. So this gives you just a good snapshot of an overview of what's going on and who has payments that still need to be processed. Processed payments, if you wanted to keep an eye, just a snapshot view of the different payments that have been processed from each one of your departments, you can do that here. You also have the ability to see the created shifts for each one of your departments. So here you can see that your Cincinnati facility has, 8 shifts that have been created and posted out onto the platform. The Wilder Ward has 7. Just a good way to see who's using the platform with your organization and what the statuses of them are. A status breakdown kind of gives you a little bit more detailed so they can see that the Cincinnati facility has 33 shifts that have not been accepted uh, by medical professionals, 2 that have been accepted, and 1 that's in a completed status. So here this completed payment needs to be paid so that the medical professional can receive their funds. You can see that 33 have not been fulfilled that's been posted onto the platform, and it breaks it down by your department or location. So it's a good way to just get a snapshot of what's going down at each one of your locations. And this tool is mainly going to be used for administrators. All right, so let's go ahead and go from the dashboard screen down to our jobs tab. So the jobs tab, this is where you are going to be creating and posting your jobs. You can also keep track by the calendar view of the job postings that you have. If you want to refresh your page, you can simply click on the month or week view here. Obviously, you have your different statuses. So the more jobs you start posting here, the more you will want to use your different filters. So for example, if you just wanted to see the job postings for nurses in your organization, here it'll just show jobs that are for nurses. If you want to see jobs that have been accepted, It'll filter down to jobs that are just accepted. If you want to see jobs that are in a created status, these are jobs that are posted but have not been fulfilled. So as a scheduler, these are all the holes in your schedule. From this view, you also have the ability to drill down into the timesheet detail page. So on the 11th for Joey's test job, you can click on it, view the details of it, and get right into the job, the timesheet details of this particular shift. Now, let's show you how to add a job. So in the upper right-hand corner is where you will add jobs for your organization. For this example, we're going to create a day shift LPN. You can put a start date and an end date. If you're creating a shift for just one particular day, the start and end time, or the start and end date, is going to be the same. It's automatically going to highlight Tuesday. But for example, if you wanted to, if you know that you have a LPN day shift that needs to be filled for the entire month of January, uh, instead of creating one for every single day, you can expand it from January 10th all the way to January 30th. If you want this job posting to repeat for Monday through Friday with a start time of 7 a.m. and an end time of 7 p.m. Now, when you do this job posting, it'll repeat Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We'll just put $30 an hour in just for an example. It does give you a cheat sheet here of what this $30 an hour pay rate is going to cost your facility. So you'll see when you calculate in the full Rein commission fee and the payment processing fee, this $30 an hour pay rate is actually going to cost your organization $35.67. So it gives you a good idea of what this job posting is going to cost you if it gets fulfilled. It's absolutely free to post the job. We just charge the commission fees once a shift is worked. So here you're going to select your various category. If this is an LPN job, so it's going to fall into the nurse category, and then we're going to pick our department or our location. From here, you can post this job. We encourage your organization to put a brief description in here. So for example, if you're trying to reach people who have never worked a job at your location, give them a little bit of a description. When you arrive to our facility, park in this area, enter the building in this area, report to, this place or this person, or, if letting them know to contact you if it's the first time taking a shift with your organization, so they can you can put them into point click care or your own timekeeping system or something of those sorts. So keep that in mind. The more that you put into the description, the better. Lastly, if you are creating a schedule for a particular medical professional through our platform, you can hit this Assign to Medical Professional feature. So from here, once you fill out the details of the shift, you can simply search that medical professional's name. And if they do not have a conflict, they'll show up in this section. Let's see if we can find anybody who does not have a conflict. Right now, all of our test accounts obviously have conflicts. So let me play with this just a little bit. Okay, so if you find that person and they do not have a conflict in their schedule, you can actually assign this schedule directly to this person. And then, you don't have to worry about them having to go out and grab the jobs that you created and put onto the platform. Okay. Again, from the jobs section, you do have the ability to edit shifts or completely delete shifts out of your job section. Next is the timesheets. So the timesheets is where you're going to be doing a lot of your work as well. Here's where you can go through approving timesheets. So as you get more and more medical professionals working with your organization, you're going to want to approve and pay these timesheets. So one thing you can do is filter down to all the completed shifts. The completed shifts are the ones that need to be paid. So once you have a completed shift, if you hit this edit button next to the shift, it brings you to the edit timesheet details page. This is where you can adjust the check-in, check-out time, the break minutes, and then again, putting in your medical facilities notes. Once that is all taken care of, you can go into the timesheet details page. We're going to spend a little bit of time going over this particular section. So from here, if you need to review the check-in and check-out times, you can do that in the lower right-hand corner. You can see when the shift was supposed to start, and then when this person actually checked in and when this person actually checked out. Um, you can review this medical professional's documentation. So, for example, if you needed to view their government ID or their CPR certificate, their credentialing documents are always going to be associated to that shift that they took from you. So, if a month down the line you need to pull any of this supporting documentation of the medical professional, you have the ability to do that. So, here we go. You can view this person's ID, etc., if needed. Secondly, you have the ability to DNR a medical professional if for some reason they don't work out with your organization and you do not want them accepting shifts with your organization anymore. From this DNR options, you can do just a specific location ban. So if you wanted to ban them from one in particular location of your organization, you can do that. Or you can ban them from your entire organization. We do require that you give a reason for the DNR. That way we can review what this individual did at your facility, and if it is extreme to the point where they need to be completely taken off of our platform, we can review that and take the necessary steps if needed. Lastly, you have the ability to message the medical professional directly through the timesheet detail page. So same way we went from the dashboard, you can do it from the timesheets detail section as well. Okay, and now you have the ability to export specific information from your timesheet detail page. So for example, a lot of organizations need to generate their PPJ reports. So your PPJ reports are going to be all the shifts that are in a paid status. So these are shifts that have been worked by medical professionals. You can then put in the span of that you need to export. So here you can see all the different medical professionals. You can sort them in ascending order. You can filter them by the medical professional. That way, the export comes and keeps the shifts for each individual kind of clustered together. Once you have the criteria set to what you want to see, you can simply hit this export button. Once you hit the export button, it's going to give you a CSV folder where you can then view all the timesheet detail page in a CSV file. Your department section, this is if you get new departments within your facility or new locations, simply hit create department. But whether it's inside your building or if it's another location altogether, put in the information of it, hit add department, and then you have another department that you can work with. As you get more users to your platform, you can invite users simply by hitting invite user in the upper right-hand corner, putting in their email address, selecting a role. Right now, there are 4 different roles: an administrator, manager, scheduler, and a user. So an administrator has no restrictions to the platform, and they are responsible for uploading forms of payment for your organization. A manager cannot upload forms of payments, but they do have the ability to pay a medical professional through the platform. A scheduler can create shifts, edit shifts, approve timesheets, but they cannot process payments. A basic user only has the ability to see data. Once you put in the email and select their role, you can then associate what locations or departments that you want this in particular user to have access to. So if this is just a scheduler for the Cincinnati location, you will just check mark the Cincinnati facility. Once all the information is set up, go ahead and send out the invite. Here you have different how-to videos where you can view videos on how to add a job, how to unassign a shift. We continually add videos to this section, so please keep an eye on it if you have any questions. And then lastly, the DNR section. So if you have DNR'd somebody from your organization, you have the ability to view this particular person, the reason and when they were banned. If it was something where you want to reverse this ban, you can hit the unban button next to their name. That is a quick overview of the platform in its entirety. Please get a hold of us if you want to see any new features or if you have any questions regarding the existing features. Thank you.